this is Sana from Ready and Thriving, and I got my grocery delivery today. So I wanted to share just a few hacks so that we can all avoid wasting food. It's particularly good for singles, couples, or anyone who just can't eat a huge amount of onion within the time before it goes bad. So I thought tonight I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to make some tacos for dinner. So I've got all the things that I need for that. Part of it is that I just got a bunch of ground beef delivered today, and I also have all these wonderful spring onions. That's kind of a lot. I'm not going to eat those tonight, obviously, just in the tacos that I have. But what I will do is I'm going to go ahead and cut them up right now because they're at their peak of freshness that I have them. And then I'm going to freeze them already chopped up, have them ready so I can just grab those, throw them on top of hot soup, throw them into omelets, throw them into anything I want to use them for in the future. So that's my first hack. You can do that with an awful lot of vegetables, and particularly onions are good, as it's almost never, I think, that I use like a whole onion, and they freeze just perfectly. So they're great to cook from. When they're in this small size and frozen, and you just throw them right into a pan or into a soup or what have you, and they work directly from there. So really top tip. You can also do similar things with a lot of root vegetables. So think about carrots, think about potatoes, though I do like to cook those up so that I can then cook them again in a variety of really tasty ways. I think you'll see that a little bit later. And then also, you know, just for food savings, for budgetary reasons, I don't like to be ripped off just because I'm single. So I do like to buy like the so-called family size of the meats, and then make things ahead and or freeze some stuff for later. So I will also do that. Now with a scallion, which I'm handling right now, I'm getting now to the part that's it's getting a little hairy there, so not so nice. And then I'll pull these off, put these in the compost as well. But now I've got all of these onions, amazing, really, really good stuff. And I could even separate these out into the greens and the whites, but I'm just going to leave a few for tonight that I'm going to put into the meat. And then the rest go in here and just pop them in my fridge. I've got a spot where I keep all these pre-prepared vegetables and goodies, like the streusel that I make so I can make a hot fruit crumble anytime I want. So I'm just leaving out what I'm going to use tonight, and I'm just going to use about a handful or so tonight. And that is actually kind of a lot. Again, for like a single person, seems like a whole taco full. Well, it's because I'm also going to pre-make more ground beef than I need tonight. So I've got here 3 pounds. That's the optimal size in my area to get the best deal. And what I do with this is really separate it into 3 1-pound groupings, because 1 pound you can make a nice tray bake, such as something like an enchiladas, something like that, which I love to make. So here, let's say we save this for enchiladas, and I would make that whole pound and then make a whole tray bake of enchiladas, and then have those, again, they would last for a few days. I'll also get another pound separated out, and that'll be for some other type of meal, perhaps even hamburgers. I could make a nice hamburger for myself on one evening, and then also make kind of smaller sliders with the rest of it, so that I can have little small burgers for lunches over a few days. So I will take this and we'll just put those into the freezer, or if I could eat that faster, I would keep one fresh and one to freeze. So tonight, though, I will just cook up this 1 pound. And once that's cooked up, it actually lasts really well. And I do know people who go ahead and cook the whole thing and then save it already cooked. Also works well. But I do prefer to make it and then use it. So I'll make a whole pound though, and maybe use a third tonight for my tacos. And then the other part I'll save and I'll make it into burritos. So that way I can have a great burrito lunch dinner tomorrow. And since I'm sticking with the same flavor profile, tacos and burritos, I'm gonna go ahead and spice it all up, make it really super ready. And then once it's ready, then I'm just gonna pop it into a jar, which I can just put onto a tortilla later, dress it very nicely, and I've got my burrito ready to go. I could even do it in the microwave. So, super fast and easy once that meat is nicely cooked and seared. So I've got that. Let's get ready and make that meat. Just gonna whip up some tacos now tonight. So I've got my corn tortillas out, just what I need for tonight. Just put the rest away. These are another item that freeze beautifully, so I also buy them in the really super tall packs. Take out just what I can use, so great for enchiladas and tacos, and the rest stay in the freezer so well. Got my pan heating here, and now we'll just start to put the meat in, just putting it into nice little packs, small little morsels, so we get more surface area and good caramelization. So ground beef is one of those things that actually saves very well. And while I said I was sticking with the same flavor profile, so I'll go ahead and spice these up. Sometimes I don't. I go ahead and keep it kind of neutral. So I would just use salt and pepper. And then I can use it for a variety of things. So casseroles or hot pots or any type of things that I might want to use ground beef for. I can just cook it up ahead of time and store it. It'll keep just say about 3 days or so in the refrigerator, but it also freezes really nicely if you want to freeze it, and then just again pop it into your cooking and get it heated up right away to eat. Put that taco seasoning on. It's got everything including salt, pepper, and stuff, so I don't need anything except for that. Check on these tortillas on the grill, flip those over, doing nicely, and we're doing pretty well. Got one side seared, and we'll do the next part. A little jalapeno to spice it up a bit more. These are hot pickled jalapenos, so they're going to be a lot, but that's just to think about whatever things that you think you can use in your other items. Go ahead and cook them all up together. So those will be great in a burrito as well as in the tacos I'm making now. Okay, corn tortillas ready to go. And the meat's almost ready. While the tortillas are hot, I'll just put a little bit of cheese on there and get that melting. And I'll put those scallions in. They don't need to cook long, just enough to kind of get that flavor in there and wilt just a little bit. I'll even turn off the heat because I think it's just about ready. So now I'll just put the meat into the tortilla, dress it up with anything else I want, a little sour cream, some cherry tomatoes, etc. And we've got tacos for tonight. More than half of this will be left, and that I will put into a mason ball jar and just keep that so I can make burritos tomorrow. Voila! Great hack, saving food, saving money, and really delicious. Super easy, makes it even easier to cook. What more could you want? I really enjoyed that taco dinner. Now with the rest of the meat, I'm just going to put it into a mason jar, a nice sustainable thing that I can just wash and use over and over and over again. And also has a small footprint, so it's really nice and convenient to use in the refrigerator too. So I'll just put the meat in. I did let it cool first, just while I had dinner, because you do want to get it more or less down to room temperature so that it doesn't go into the fridge hot. That way it'll cool all the way through. And now I can make burritos with this tomorrow. Make a great burrito the day after we already made the ground meat for tacos. So I've added the made-ahead beans that is also left over from just making bean burritos, and some cheese, and now we'll add that meat on top and we'll have a wonderful diverse flavor within our burrito. Then I'll just heat that up in the microwave, add a little bit of sour cream, and we've got homemade burritos. Nice and hot and heated up in the microwave for a couple of minutes. We've got now the meat refreshed, the beans nice and gooey, and all of the cheese melted. Just add in a little bit of sour cream, and we've got a delicious burrito. Added that sour cream. Now I just roll it back up. Ooh, ready to eat. Delicious. Now I've got two lovely burritos ready for dinner, and all made from things just in my pantry and make-aheads that I made before today. Delicious. I hope you found the idea of a make-ahead useful. You really do deserve it to eat really well, and then also have time when you have those great ingredients ready, but you also want to have some time to be out and thrive every day, and to make things a little quicker. So think about trying to do this make-ahead idea at least once. I bet once you try it, you will do it over and over and over. Because not only for the things that you saw this time, but think about doing your favorite meat seasoned the way that you like it, potatoes, and remember those vegetables. Because just anytime you pull out an onion, do the whole thing, freeze the rest, and then you've got onion to throw into other things anytime. I hope this has been useful, and if it has been, please hit subscribe so that you'll get more inspiration into your YouTube feed, and go to readyandthriving.com to get more ideas for great recipes that are sustainable to extend food life, but also ideas to thrive every day.